We have news! Overwatch 2 PvP Week 2 Developer Blog. Let's see what news we got this week. I'm ML7, your host for tonight, and tonight we're gonna dive into the Week 2 Developer Blog. A renewed interest and excitement for the support role. Improved queue times, improved survivability for support heroes, behind the scenes testing of Moira and Mercy? Wait a second. And thoughts around historical shield breaker heroes are top of the mind for our team as we reflect on the second week of the PvP beta. Continuing reading this, news about supports with your host ML7, also known as ML7 Support. If you say ML7 Healer, I'll ban you. We've been closely monitoring the performance of the support role following last week's balance patch that saw improvement for Baptiste's, adjustments for Ana, and the introduction of a montage-worthy new passive ability for ZENYATTA. As is often the case when we increase effective health for a hero, ZENYATTA saw an all-around improvements in performance over the weekend. Even with a higher pick rate, we saw a Resident Omnic Monk's win rate improve by 5%. This just in, production told me, I'm not overdoing it, this is the last time. ZENYATTA stats have increased, his win rate have increased by 5%. Let's continue reading this and I'm gonna stop being annoying. Putting him in a healthy, albeit slightly strong position, I concur. Perhaps not as surprising, the additional 25 shield health reduced in a 7% actually, and a 7% reduction in his death rate, with a halo effect of a 10% improvement in kills secured. Oh my god, dude, they actually do have the stats. Anecdotal feedback regarding his new passive, Snap Kick, indicates that a knockback is an effective way to line up kills more consistently. So they buff ZENYATTA, and obviously he's strong. A decrease in the duration of Ana's Biotic Grenade netted a slight 2% decrease in her win rate. However, the increased Biotic Rifle uptime ensured her overall healing output on average remained unchanged. Even with the adjustment, Ana remains a popular pick, with her usage rate staying the same. Okay, so the other changes weren't that massive, we talked about this, it's okay. Now, queue times across the board have improved significantly since last week's patch. While correlation might not always equal causation, while correlation might not always equal causation, we're optimistic that support improvements had a lot to do with it. Following Thursday's update, players on average experienced 48% less time spent waiting for a match. Yeah, more supports played, gradually leveling off at around 22% improvement over the weekend. Well, yes, Blizzard, the changes that you did for supports were really fun. A lot of people wanted to try out the ZENYATTA changes, so thumbs up. Okay, so we use the stats, chat. This is good. We use the stats. For both damage and support players, beta queue times are now faster than the 6 vs 6 live service without sacrificing match fairness or quality measures. Okay, I just want to say that my games have been worse than before. Rating wise, I've had plat players in my games when I'm top 500. Now, this is a beta. I'm not saying that I want full lobbies of top 500 players, but I do think that for a lot of you, the game probably felt more balanced than before matchmaking wise. While these positive indicators from last week's patch are great to see, we still have work to do. We compared the death rate for each hero and role to their counterparts in the live game and identified a trend where both support and tank heroes are dying more frequently on average in the beta. Clueless. Surely this wouldn't happen, right? D.Va and Orisa explained this trend for tanks. Orisa has a completely new kit and playstyle, while D.Va finds herself in unfamiliar territory as a solo tank, while with players gradually adjusting their approach. We'll continue to monitor and tune individual heroes as needed. I agree with you. So far, Blizzard, in this full thing, interesting, good. I love this feedback. Very good. Now, while there was little difference at lower ranks, support heroes starting at high diamond and above saw the highest jumps in return visits to the spawn room. As it is custom on this stream, duh! At these ranks, the increased pressure of a more skilled tank or damage player on the backlines has seemingly become too much for even higher SAG support players to handle effectively as compared with a live game. The most significant difference was at Grandmaster, where the support role saw an increase of 15% in frequency of deaths when compared to live. We know support players want additional tools and power to be impactful in Overwatch 2. Please keep talking to me like this. And the role remains our highest adjustment priority as the beta continues. Keep talking to me like... Okay, I'm done. Philosophically, We are, philosophically, we are also mindful of the dangers of mobility creep and believe it's imperative that support heroes can survive and be powerful even without mobility tools. Wait, they're not gonna give out a jetpack? Heroes like Lucio and Moira are demonstrations of the effectiveness of mobility in Overwatch 2. We've seen early indicators of a playstyle shift in the support community to favoring mobility and strong ability, and the strong ability to either disengage completely or face down flankers one-on-one. As we make balanced decisions on how or if to address this moving forward, we do so with the goal of ensuring that there is diversity in design and abilities for the support role, and that effectiveness isn't determined solely by a hero's mobility potential. Anyone that said that? Anyone that said that in info? Anyone? No, I'm still searching. Anyone that said that? No? No? Okay. Okay. It's, yeah, more check? No? Okay. More specific. Wait, this is getting hype, chat. This is getting hype. You hear me? Hype news commencing at ML7 support stream. Okay, I'm gonna finish this. More specific balance considerations. We're planning another balance patch this week and will include specific commentary there explaining those changes. But we also wanted to share some broader thoughts about some heroes that have been the subjects of recent community discussion. Moira. I can do this. I speak English for a living. Audiorain's versatile kit has translated well in the emerging 5 vs 5 meta. Moira continues to be a flexible pick, with her self-heal and high mobility proving effective at dealing with a more consistent push by flankers. As a result, we haven't observed a meaningful change in win rate between live and beta, meaning that Moira stayed relatively stable in comparison to other support heroes. Because Moira will always be strong if the enemy team goes with heroes that want to kill the supports. It's very hard to kill a Moira. That's it. But she doesn't have a lot of carry potential. Conversely, we hear your feedback that Moira's current stability doesn't mean she should remain unexamined. As we consider potential changes, we have a goal of providing her with increased utility that feels impactful and increases her potential to be a playmaker, while also tempering the damage and healing of Biotic Orb and Biotic Grasp to bring her more in line with other supports. So from what I understand, they're gonna change damage stats and healing stats for Moira, which, okay, we've seen in that video that I've done about the hardest, easiest to hardest support to rank up with, that Moira was the support that did, on average, the highest amount of damage and highest amount of healing. So this is interesting from Blizzard, honestly. She should do a little bit less. And they're adding utility, because you can carry an Overwatch with damage, but if they can find something that can give Moira something incredibly useful to carry with, you know, then that would be amazing. So okay, some Moira changes. Now, chat, I am scared. Mercy changes. Monka W. As any veteran Mercy player will tell you, hey, that's me. The full potential of Mercy is not unlocked until you've learned the techniques that accompany her kit, particularly the Superjump. While there are many guides and videos for those wanting to learn the method, I have a guide too. I actually have a lot of guides. I have a lot of videos. If you enjoy the content, make sure... I'm done. It ultimately requires a complicated sequence, meow, of keystrokes and conditions that are not accessible or apparent to the average player. Wait a minute. Are they making Superjump easier? Wait a minute, internally we have started testing improvements to Mercy's verticality, leaning into the unintended consequences of player discovery. We want to take it a step further by making the ability to super jump more consistent for everyone, not just the players who know the not-so-secret technique. Mercy's mobility has always been a core part of her kit and will continue to look for ways to accentuate it and make it more accessible for everyone. Okay, here's my take on this. If that's the only thing that they changed to make her like more mobile for people that don't play her that much, I'm not a big fan of it. And I think a lot of people are gonna flame Mercy players even more than before, saying that a hero requires zero skill. Mercy is a very hard hero, as we've seen in the education rank to GM that I've done. It's very hard to win with her, and you need a lot of info to do that. Now, the fact that this type of info will be available off the bat, I don't know if I like it or not. You know why? Because it's like you press one button and you can quickscope with Ana. This is how I compare the technique. If you start playing Ana, nobody's gonna tell you that you can quickscope. You're gonna go left click, you're gonna go right click, and eventually you will learn how to quickscope. Now, as a Mercy player, you're not gonna start in the beginning by super jumping. But if you have a button or something like that that makes you super jump, I feel like you're just removing from how hard the hero actually is. This being said, I'm a people noob at Mercy movement. I cannot do super jump consistently, and for me, this change is amazing. I'm like, yes! But I don't know. I don't know if this is good. We'll have to wait and see what they do exactly. If it's gonna be like I press one button and then you do the super jump, I don't know. I don't know about this. Mercy is a hard hero, chat, and the hardest part about her is her mobility. It's her mobility. And I feel like that if you're an experienced Mercy player, you're probably not gonna like this. And even if you're like a new Mercy player, you're probably gonna be like, ah, cool. You know what I mean? I don't know about this. Anyway, let's continue. It's a good change. We'll see how the community reacts to it. We'll see how the community reacts to it. If it's like a quality of life change, then fine. If it's something that you just do like instantly without any mechanics added, then no. Okay, Junkrat and Symmetra. Alongside Moira and Mercy, we also want to acknowledge the growing conversation about Junkrat and Symmetra. Both heroes excelled as shield breakers, and the shift to a single tank composition has made both heroes feel slightly out of place in the emerging meta. Junkrat continues to present interesting design questions. We've considered increasing Frag Launcher's projectile speed. However, we found that by doing so, we risk making his signature weapon feel like more of a rocket launcher. Yeah. Instead, we're exploring ways to better reward direct hits as a form of skill expression. Okay, so you get rewarded by spamming left clicks and hopefully people walk into them. I'm joking. There are insane Junkrat players that have a lot of trajectories. I don't know if you should get rewarded for direct hits. I don't know about this. You might see Junkrat being broken, but let's be honest right now. Who plays Junkrat? I might be wrong. Who plays Junkrat, spams in a corner and goes like, yeah, because I bounced there and there it's gonna be a direct hit. No, you just spam, hopefully you're gonna hit them. Now, I don't know if this is the way of making Junkrat better. You spam, hopefully you're gonna hit them. Know what I mean? We agree with community feedback that a reduction of shields being thrown about the battlefield makes Symmetra's photon projector harder to get value from. At the same time, Symmetra is suffering from increased overlap with heroes like Mei, who possess better tools for close quarter survivability. While these heroes aren't our current focus, they're on radar for future adjustments and continued monitoring. Okay, this is an ending message. Okay, this is interesting. About Symmetra, we don't get a lot of information, but I'm speculating maybe Symmetra support, maybe she's more fitted for support. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think that a rework for her on support. I've always been a fan of Symmetra, as you've seen that experimental patch that I've worked on. I like Symmetra to be support, in my opinion. I don't know how she fits as a DPS in 5 vs 5. About the Junkrat changes, okay, fine. We'll have to see how oppressive they are. About the Mercy one, I think it's cool and it will definitely attract newer players to play Mercy. Definitely.
ML7
but I don't know if it's the right call. At the same time, I don't think that it will ever change Res, Valkyrie, damage boost, and so on. So what else can you give her to make her more strong? You know what I mean? I'm curious how you're gonna do. This is the thing that I'm most curious about. How are you gonna do the super jump Res? That is the thing that I'm interested in. Because if you can super jump, but there's a technique to do the super jump Res, then I'm okay with it. If it's just like a basic super jump, then probably no. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Personally, I like this change, but it might lead on. It might spark some conversations about how hard Mercy is. Moira changes. This is exactly what Moira needs, chat. I've been saying this for years. and this is exactly what Moira needs. Because she has the most healing and most damage on average from the supports, as we have done that in the Rank 2 GM with Moira. The fact that she can't win more games and she has the same win rate and stuff, you gotta give her utility. Now, what type of utility they're gonna provide? I don't know if I want the fade to return. You know, when she faded and saved her team. I want Moira to be able to do something to the enemy. I don't want Moira to be able to do something to her team. But I do not exclude Blizzard re-adding the Moira fade from a year ago, when if you faded, you would have saved your team from CCs. You know what I mean? Because right now, Moira can get out of Graviton Surge, Reaper can get out of Graviton Surge, nobody can get out of Graviton Surge. So the Moira fade change for her team to save them would actually make sense. But I don't think that this is the way to give her more utility. I think that you need to give her, I don't know, a sleep dart, a slow, I don't know, lava poison. When she fades, she leaves a fart cloud behind her so that enemies, if they smell the stinky, they get slowed. Or I don't fucking know, they get marked like Sombra. I don't know. She needs something to do to the enemies. That's what they need. Now, with Blizzard's communication on this, honestly, big round of claps to Blizzard. This is how you communicate and give feedback and stuff so you know what's happening. I love seeing the stats, Blizzard. I love seeing the stats. This is the way to do it. We can effectively see, instead of speculating if the changes did something or not, and we can see what they plan on doing as well. So good. They said what they addressed before. They say what was fixed now, and also they say what they plan on doing in the future. So apparently in this patch, we're going to see some supports being changed. In the future, they're thinking about Junkrat, Symmetra, D.Va, and Orisa. With this being said, this was the news about the Week 2 developer blog. I'm your host, ML7, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's news. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you another time. Stay safe. ML7 out.